Columbus, we require over X amount, you
Yeah,
need 3
we do.
quotes.
We
We
do.
have a purchasing
Okay.
policy, yeah,
We have a purchasing policy, a donation policy,
a grant policy.
a grant policy. Those have been put in place and reviewed quite just recently too,
Yeah.
so.
We're putting a public works policy together with
Well, you guys
utilities
are
and
talking about
stuff.
saving money, I mean, that's a big step. It creates competitive bidding.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't know if you had one,
yep,
so.
we do.
We do.
Yep. Where are the policies? It's not like it's in the handbook, where do they find it?
There's a book in the,
Yeah, we can always email you a copy, print you a copy, whatever you would like, you probably got it, Chad.
Yeah, I mean, I always try to solicit 3 bids or 4 bids, or, you know, sometimes
Absolutely,
you
whatever
can't
the
get.
policy says,
you know.
there's a dollar value.
Yeah, it's like $25,000.
That's one thing that we probably look at is, okay.
Review it.
Policies.
Sure,
Yeah, and then review them each for departments and that type of thing.
no different than the library, you're always looking at stuff, so.
Is there any, I don't want to speak up on behalf, I'm kind of part of this, but
Raises, you know, in there and
Okay, Kane got a lot.
you can't hear, so I'm trying to make sure you hear.
She wants, I know some.
There you did.
So go ahead, Barry, and then we'll repeat
is
what
there
Ron
any,
said.
is there any benefit to looking at the percentage between capital and operation and maintenance, and what you guys do for percentages? Help the employees out or not?
A percentage to give them?
No, what percentage between what you spend on capital compared to what you spend on operating and maintenance? For wages and stuff?
I would love to see the numbers, to see how they flush out. I don't think we've ever had the numbers presented that way to do
I
a
mean,
comparison.
I think that would be beneficial for, because I'm part of that capital, You know,
Yes.
The other year, maybe what your capital is compared to your operating and maintenance, is
Right.
hard. So,
It does, and that's, we sort of look at it to begin with to try to weed down the wants versus the needs as far
Right.
as capital
Yep.
goes to begin with, so we kind of have that in front of us when we start talking about, quite frankly, wages. It always comes down to wages and what costs are
Yep.
revolving that retirement and
Mhm.
insurance and all that dovetails in.
Right,
And then you start looking at ways to make that pencil bend the right way to get everything to work, and sometimes it's cuts in certain places. And what we don't appreciate, and Richard is adamant about this over the years, we've been looking at line by line by line to cut $50 here, $100 there, to try to get it worked across thousands of lines to get a number that works for the whole budget.
Mhm.
And it's appreciative if it comes a little bit more fine-tuned than that, that we don't have to make decisions like that.
Right.
We don't have to make decisions like that,
right.
or question. It makes more meetings and everybody gets frustrated with it.
Right. I think it would be beneficial if you could show the workers that you typically sticking stuff in the capital, and then you don't have money left over for.
Before, I think there's a chart that showed, you know, wages were like 70. That breaks down, a little cute little pie chart, and that's been a while since
Right.
we've done it, so that's
And
fine.
there's some philosophy to that, to try to control some of that as well, because there's municipalities out there, and I know of a few of them, have probably poor public works. Happy,
Mhm.
and that's great, and that kind of stuff, but you have to have a decent balance there.
Right.
Otherwise, you're gonna run into huge burdens on debt going forward, because you're gonna be borrowing to
Right.
fix stuff that should have been
Done.
taken care of
Right.
along the way,
Right.
you know? And that's the challenge, I think, is what's that crystal ball look like going forward? So,
Lana, your question was, what do you,
Well,
on
I
wages?
don't know the answer to this, but yeah, if they
merit versus a, merit versus a.
One department and look at it,
Yep.
whether it's the fire department, everybody has different jobs, so you're not pitting them job
Yeah.
against another.
Yeah.
It just, you
And we're
can't make
small
any,
enough, you know, that, yeah.
from all three places that created more animosity than,
True, but there's gotta be some understanding of if an employee goes out of their way to outperform versus their peers, should they be rewarded for that?
Is it a bonus?
Is it a
versus
bonus at that point? I don't know.
raise?
You know, but these are the type of things we're talking about.
One of the things we don't
You know.
have here is a wage scale. We've never had DPW, for example, you know, one, pick a number. It starts at 16 to 20, and DP2 starts at, we don't have that. We don't have kind of like those step-ups.
Well,
So
and
that's
again-
what a lot of, sitting in my mayor department meetings, that's what a lot of places have. They have those step-ups, so that people know in the next year, they've been here a year or 3 years, whatever it is, there's a step up that they get, and then if something happens and there's a merit increase, whether it's a bonus.
It goes so high,
Right.
and that's as far as you're gonna get.
Right, but that's where the bonus comes in, that, okay,
Right.
you went above and beyond, and, yeah, move your
That's what
steps.
we were trying to establish it depending on the amounts, the type of certs that you have. So
Sure.
what you qualify for
Right.
is what
Right.
you're gonna be paid at that level.
Right, yeah, you have something to measure that on, we don't.
Right,
You know, it's like you have to come with a CDL and then you just kind of learn everything else. You don't get a step up because you figure out how to drive one of the diggers, or, you know what I mean? You don't, we just don't kind of have that for all the departments.
I don't wanna cut my own throat, but, like, I'm a Department 3, which is the highest here,
Okay,
and in Columbus, we only have 2 that are the highest, and until one of them leaves, no one else is gonna be able to move up.
okay,
So, you gotta strategically plan when you build your scale.
Yep.
Do you need 4 of us that are at top tier?
right.
That's
Well,
something
and
to
part
take
of
into
the-
consideration.
Part of the job descriptions that we were looking at too is making sure that we have all of those positions spelled out correctly. How do you go from a 1 to a 2 and a 2 to a 3?
Because I went from a 1, and then on my anniversary day, I went to a 3.
You went from a
Right.
2 to a 3. I went from,
Yeah.
I went from 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, yeah,
I was the last one.
so,
In
we
circum,
don't,
I know with hiring at the police department, we've been pretty and it's maybe normal in some places, but I mean, we've never happened here before, so. But it always helps to budget,
which is wages.
which is
benefits.
wages and benefits, so.
We will get you that percentage, but it's high. Hey, lady.
Yeah.
Anybody
Anything
else?
else? I mean,
Feel free to speak.
yeah, that's
We're
what it's
not gonna
here
figure
for,
it out.
before we start it. You know, if there's any difficulties you're thinking is gonna happen, you wanna air them in front of everybody and beg for their forgiveness.
Later.
we're sending emails.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we don't want us to not be able to speak freely in front of each other. We have to. And that's why when the opt-out kind of got blown out of proportion, we never meant to cause chaos by any means. And nobody here ever said the words eliminated, never. So, Please don't panic about that, because that was never spoken. How it got rumored, who's talking about it at the bar, I don't know. Nobody told me at the grocery store, and that's where I hold most of my meetings, so some people didn't hear about it.
I've never had one of those.
Me either.
Oh my God, it's always at the grocery store.
Sense God.
There you go.
Part of the problem I really see in getting into like job descriptions and all those things, it's all the same work as a super big city, right? But we got short staff, because we're just a small city. We don't have 7 office people to wade through all that, so it's gonna be a process. And to the degree that departments can prepare and present job descriptions and levels and changes that we can review and modify, if you got spare time, you wanna work through that. As a department, that will aid in getting those things through. Gene and Lon are doing, Gene and Lon are doing all the same work as any other city with less people than a big city would have. But it's all the same forms they gotta fill out, all the same meetings, all the same documents. So with 2 or 3 office staff, it's much more difficult than a big city would. So to the degree you guys can help, we'd appreciate that effort.
And be an advocate for your department as well, and your employees. I mean, you have better relationships than we do with them. But granted, the door is always open. They can always ask questions.
Have you thought of a wage study?
There's been many of them that have gone around. I did one back in 19, and somebody else did one in 21, and we all give them to each other. So the problem with wage studies is you have to make sure that you're at least comparing apples to apples. We can't be lumped in with Sun Prairie and Madison and Middleton. We don't have their budgets, we don't have that.
Right.
So you have to make sure that you're looking at the Lake Millses, even though they're bigger than we are, but they're around 6,000. So you have to make sure you're looking at these other departments. And then the other thing is, we're not like everybody else either. We're unique by having 2 different departments with the utility and the DPW. A lot of them are Department of Public Works, and they're all one entity. They're not separate. So we're not comparing apples to apples. We got linemen, so you can compare to another lineman, but you're doing the same thing. You have to make sure you're at least trying to stay within communities your size. And then you've got unions that are thrown in the mix too. So there's always something. Opt-out, for example, there's a lot of communities that don't do it at all. So everybody's different. So maybe their wages might be higher because they don't do an opt-out, or maybe just the opposite. Their wages are lower because they do an opt-out. There's so many things in these wage studies that it gets mind-boggling to look at.
Wage studies are expensive too. $150,000, $200,000 you can spend on a wage study.
Clerks and treasurers, usually get a hold of other clerks and treasurers. We try and do it at some of these meetings, and everybody give it your best shot. But we're AEMT and fire. So you have a fire, a wage, and then you have an AEMT, but we're unique being both. So it's hard to find comparisons for that stuff.
And it's cost of living in your area. There's housing costs. I mean, you can't compare our wage against a Middleton wage, for example, because the cost of living in Middleton is so much greater.
And unfortunately, even regardless of what that comes back to, we still only have 2.2 million. That's our budget, that's all we have. So, we can still only do with what we have. So if we keep giving bigger wages, which of course we don't want it, we didn't get more money to do that. Believe me, we're trying hard to get more housing and stuff in here, it's just all the easy stuff's already taken.
All right, I hate to cut anything short, but if there's nothing real pressing here, I think we're gonna move on with the rest of the agenda. I appreciate all the
If you
department
come
heads.
up with ideas, if there's something you wanna say, if you wanna send me an email, send it directly to Charlie. I don't care how you do
Yep.
it, but don't
Yep.
be afraid to speak up. I don't
Absolutely.
want people to
Anytime.
be sad, confused, ornery.
Doesn't have to wait until your appointment meeting here to present your budget. It can come way before if you want
Cable's is already done.
some kind of questions answered. So I appreciate y'all showing up.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
absolutely. Thank you for coming.
All right, 5C, repairs to water fountain at City Hall.
I represent the one.
Chad?
Yeah, so, I don't know, a couple weeks ago on Monday, I was made aware that there was water leaking in the ceiling, so I called S&S. We determined that there was a water cooler in the ceiling above the bathrooms over here that had sprung a leak. So I solicited a quote from S&S to repair repair and replace the unit that was up there to the tune of $2,950, or just to simply cut it out and plumb it all together for $690. To be honest with you, I never knew that there was a water cooler in the ceiling. So,
Until it leaks.
until it leaked.
It leaked.
I never heard it running, I never seen it in any building plans, so.
Did we ever consider changing that into one of those L, whatever they're called, that's got like the bottle filler and all that? It's the unit right in front of you, so we're not the ceiling doing all that stuff?
That's north, $3,000 just for that unit, that's not installation.
For my pay for $1,000. Interesting, okay.
So, I mean, I can solicit Johnson's or somebody else, or S&S, there's no power down on the wall, there's tile work there that would have to be reworked, I mean,
Okay.
I can solicit a quote, I just thought,
I just didn't know, I just knew how the one we got at McKay wasn't that expensive.
I mean, is it gonna be bad if we don't do it? I mean, it's,
well, right now, currently, the water system's shut off in the ceiling and the water fountain's up. So, I guess
I guess,
my vote would be.
have you guys,
Go ahead.
the people that work in the building here, been inconvenienced to any degree that they can't work around it, or?
I mean, not having them at all, or,
I think we need something out there.
yeah, I mean, I use them every day, but not.
I fill my water bottle up with it.
What do you want, a cold?
Does chill matter?
Because we
Or
don't have
not.
ice cubes, yeah.
Or
If
not.
that
I mean,
refrigerator had
I
something
don't,
that's.
I never noticed that, you know, I fill my water bottle up over there all the time, I've never noticed that there was cold water coming out of it. I mean,
It's probably not been working for a while, who knows?
yeah, yeah. It did kick on that day when water was running out of it, but that was the first and only time I've ever heard it work.
It ran long enough to
Yeah, when there was.
trigger
I'll
it.
buy an ice cube tray and just say it couldn't spend $6.90.
We have an ice cube tray and it's always empty.
It's up to you guys, I don't care, I can get different quotes too for the bubbler or water fountain system too.
I would hate to put it in there just in, it's a waste of effort, cause it doesn't get utilized enough.
I mean, I fill my water.
How many
bottle
know
every
water light,
Thursday.
how many are in that building that are those chilled wall units? Is that what you have down there? How many?
Two.
Two? Yeah.
You know, one in the trailhead, we just unplugged the compressor because the compressor fried is just runs tap water out of the one in the trailhead.
Yeah.
The one in the front lobby we ripped out about 3 years ago.
Yeah. Do you wanna get a couple more quotes?
What do you want me to get quotes for, a water cooler system where you fill bottles off of, or?
Or just
Or if you don't
go,
wanna.
go
Where did
with
you
it?
go, where did you go for the one that you got?
Honestly, I think I got it off of Amazon or Zorro, something
But you
like
said
that.
that there's no power source.
There's no
Yeah.
power source here.
So that is,
So-
that's it.
That's where it's extra expensive.
That's a game
Drop it
changer.
from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
'cause right
running
now,
forward, Cal.
right now,
So
the
you
cord
don't-
for the unit that's up in there is hardwired into a power source in the junction box in the ceiling. Above the big tile or drop tiles. Could do that.
But you got
Yeah, you
water.
can do that too. As long as there's access to it, but
So
we
what
still
was-
have to, we still fix it for the public.
Oh,
If they're
absolutely.
in here, at least they can get water.
Correct, I mean, there's people that do come in and go to the bathroom, take a drink of water and walk out, just,
Yeah, we have walkers that come through, I mean, they use our bathrooms, they're pretty steady eddies, the people that walk around town and come in. They are, they're good walkers. I'm
Steady
jealous, they're very committed to it, so.
Thoughts?
Otherwise, you take the cooler out and just turn the water on for done.
That's a
It's-
That's a $6.90.
$690 is to take that unit out of the ceiling and tie the water lines together and tie it together, and then you got tap water. I don't think so.
Our water's good, isn't it?
I drink it.
The other thing is you could go tap it in and run it, and if you got complaints, you could always go back next year and put a cooler.
Ken? Yeah, absolutely. Council?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
There's no resolution, because I have no idea what's
What you were
happening.
gonna do, yeah, there's no resolution for it, so.
What do you want to do,
I'll defer it to the council. Refer to the council and just look for a staff recommendation, what do you guys want? I don't use it, but once a month or twice a month. So
What about your
I think
residents?
employee welfare is a big thing. Let's put it to the employees. If they wanna fix, let's fix it.
And
Pink lady?
you have a bunch of them here,
Well, yeah,
that's what I'm at, we're asking for opinions.
right.
The majority of the people that wanted the bottle.
You don't know.
They want the bottle one?
Yes, when this is the one though.
Well, at that point, I would bypass it and budget for it.
Can you get a price for it?
Yes, you can.
Lana says she never uses it, she goes for $6.90. She brings bottled water.
We can defer it, I can get another quote from S&S to have a bottle fill unit.
Doesn't matter, I mean, if you want to defer it to council, just find out what everybody else's opinion is, or you guys are the ones, Dennis, who uses it in the police department? Does anybody come in here and fill up bottles?
I don't think so.
Okay. Count on Lana, Phil guys keep track.
It's gonna be a tough task for
It's
Municipal.
in there, I used to do it when I was here.
You want a motion on that, Charlie?
Yeah, or else we're just, are we
Gonna sit
kicking the
here.
can, or?
I'm gonna kick it to, I'm gonna make a motion to refer it to council.
Okay, a motion to refer the water fountain to council for action.
Correct.
Motion by Wired, Cool seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. 5D, resolution to purchase a police vehicle from Kaiser. This was already approved from a different vendor, and that vendor indicated they could not get in their allotment, correct? We couldn't get something out of their allotment already?
Ford was not accepting bids anymore, they cut it off early.
Okay.
So I called Kaiser Ford, which we purchased them through because they buy them in bulk. And the difference was $650.
This will be coming to council, it's on the agenda, we're gonna have to rescind the old resolution and then reapprove this one, so, I'll make a motion that we move this along for council approval.
Wait a second.
Got a motion by Cool, second by Ware, to move the resolution 25-30 to council for action. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. 5E, fire protection ambulance service. Chad.
This is just every 3 years, we give new contracts to the townships that we cover. It's just an update, mainly towards the EMS, extra EMS coverage that we have for the town and town of Waterloo and a small section of Milford. The only change is the rates for 26, 7, 8, which went up a little bit.
Everything else?
Everything else is status quo, everything hasn't changed the way we work the budget for those areas for fire and EMS in our primary.
But what did we change in ordinance for something more? That we have 2509? Resolution 2509.
That's
That's
different.
different, we're not there yet.
This is the mutual aid, this is the, like, the
Stay on the finance
townships.
agenda.
You're on 5E.
The
I'm staying on the
township
finance
ones.
agenda now.
Okay.
Okay, with you.
It was the townships to, basically, we're approving the new contract
Yes.
amounts, so he can get them out to the townships for approval, correct?
Yep.
This was just an example of just the town of Waterloo, but it's gonna be used for everybody.
It'll
Yeah.
be used by all of them.
So we did this once already, we ended in 25, because we did like a 3-year thing, it's been 3 years
Yep.
already.
Yeah.
Wes had reminded me of that before he even left, he said it was up, so.
Good, okay.
Have fun, you're having fun.
I just remember that we were all excited to get the new contracts, because we had that ridiculous one
Yeah.
from 1818. Read.
And it is stated in there that if it's not signed within a year, that everything just goes back to the same, so.
It follows
Yep.
this, yeah. Rolls over, got it. Beautiful.
award the fire production ambulance service contracts to council for ratification.
I don't have it on council.
It is not,
You guys told me it didn't need, I mean, I didn't put it
it
in.
didn't need to be?
We just talked about putting on the, told me to put through the resolutions for the fire inspection and
Okay.
those ones, but we did not.
Okay,
put
so
that on.
then it's informational only.
Well, we can have it be in
I
a
mean-
resolution at the next meeting, so that it's all in document. Did we do it as a resolution the last time?
I would have to go back and look at it, this
I
is
don't
last minute on Friday, I don't think.
I mean, we
If
would
we-
have to approve it to be approved by the townships, right? Or does the townships sign it and bring it back here and
They
then we
sign
approve it?
it, no, we send it to them, they sign it, we're done. But I'm just trying to remember when we did this 3 years ago, did we do this as a resolution that it needed to go to council versus just? Let's just do this, you guys approved it, send it to council, Jeannie.
Choose us,
Yeah,
we're gonna have to
that
have action to approve it.
The year.
Is it just the end of the year? Okay. Everything's not the
Yes.
same one.
Yep.
We had one like halfway in the
Yep.
year.
Yep. At the beginning of the year.
Okay, my motion still stands.
I'll second it.
All right. Motion by Cool, second by Ware to say this the right way. To refer the fire protection and ambulance service for the townships to council for approval with knowledge that the fire chief will be the final ratification.
Yes.
Sounds good. All right. All those in favor say yes
Aye.
or aye. Likewise opposed. Motion carried. Handbook changes for fire personnel to 53 hours to 103 per pay period.
I thought it was 106.
Put it down to 103 because the hours that they come to now is basically they work 52 and 51. Is their schedule
So for some
hours.
reason I thought it was 53 each week. What?
It's 53
Each week? So that's what it is currently?
53 each week before they get overtime, but that's not,
Yes.
that's not what they're scheduled, so they actually donate 2 hours to 3 hours before they get overtime. That's how it's written,
So then no overtime happens until after 106 anyway?
until after 53. That's where the hangup is,
Okay,
so if they go past, correct me if I'm wrong, if they go past 53 in that week, they get overtime. Now, they could get scheduled, now if we go to 106 or 103,
They get heavy first week and then the second
Right.
week could be
I
delayed.
can flex them to where I need them in that pay period
without overtime,
without overtime.
which was the scenario Jason, I think, brought up when we first got the third person hired. We're
Yeah.
like, oh my goodness, this is gonna be,
Yes, and then I can take Aiden and Cody and put them on an overlapping shift, so they would run Tuesday to Monday instead of Thursday to Wednesday. So they're overlapping, they're working, everybody's working with each other, and then when it comes to vacations, it's not such a big hit to have, I still have 1A on that section. So,
do we have to worry about the union contract to make this change? That's my concern.
I think if you,
Timmy's over there nodding.
They said not to make any changes.
Right, that's the problem.
That's the problem is we're in the middle of negotiations and
Right. That, not that we don't want to, we physically can't, because we're in the middle of a union negotiation, we can't change anything like this.
okay.
So however you wanna schedule it, I mean,
Well, I can't do any scheduling now without it causing overtime. It just,
And, yeah, we
because
prefer
the way,
not to have that.
because of the way it's written, I'm handcuffed.
Well, just not to drag this out too long, what we can do is I can get a hold of Troy, Jeannie, Tabana, somebody can get a hold of Troy, who is our attorney. Let them know that this is on the table right now, and it's actually, it's really a benefit to the city and to you, so this isn't a controversial issue.
And essentially, the employees, 4 employees that are involved in it want this.
Okay,
So it's a win-win,
okay.
because then they can get on the schedule that they were promised when they got hired.
We're gonna need our advice from
Yep.
Troy to make sure that we can even do this.
Can we temporarily rescind it? I mean, we've rescinded other things that were either in the handbook or even, I mean, even
I think there's,
for pay and other things, we've rescinded
is
agreements
there an
that.
issue that we have to work out as far as your side of pay?
Well, we have to talk to Cassell to make sure we have it programmed right. I
Okay.
don't know, because I wasn't here when they programmed it. So it automatically knows that in the system now, so we probably have to redo something. I don't think it'd be too traumatic or anything,
Yeah,
but we're
it's-
gonna have to, yeah, look at that.
Yeah, we,
Mhm.
I mean, we can figure it out.
Yeah.
Let's,
Oh, yeah, I don't think it's like
Okay.
terrible.
defer to next meeting, and hopefully in the next month, we can get more information and make a educated decision, right?
Sure.
Okay.
So,
Motion?
I'm sorry. I was just gonna ask one more quick question.
Go ahead.
Because I wanna make sure I say this right to Troy. Is it, the overtime doesn't hit until after 106 anyway?
It would be 103, so that would be their schedule. So they're scheduled out to
Okay.
infinity, as
Right.
long as they stay on that shift.
All right, we'll discuss it and figure out what Troy has to say, and then we'll get back. Okay,
Currently not, so that's gonna be.
it is 106, I know that.
Want to do it, or should I? Cool, make a motion to defer for staff to work out the handbook changes and define the software needs that we need to do it.
Hours of contract.
You gotta make sure the union's gonna let us.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct, correct.
Like,
I'll second it.
Wired seconds, motion by Cool, second by Wired, to defer the handbook changes. For more information, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Update on ordinance fire inspection, and that is resolution, it's actually fire inspection and the, what is it?
2025-09 and 10, and it's
What do
item
they call it? Fire,
200.
One's fire inspection and one is the ordinance to adopt administrative code of the Department of Safety and Professional Services.
so it's the definition of which fire codes we follow as a city. And then another section within that, section 200, deals with fire inspections, and that's cleaning up that as well.
These are exactly the same as they were when we put them on hold last year. So nothing's been changed. They're what was written at that time.
So is 201 brand new?
No.
There's nothing red in it. What did we change? We're amending it, but what are we amending? I mean, usually it's in color or strike through, or what's changed?
I believe the change was just taking, removing the DHS, updating
Right.
it to the current SPS, the current codes that Wisconsin follows.
Yeah, because usually we see it in its like draft format,
Draft
so that we
form.
can see what was changed. So right now, I don't know what the heck changed.
I know the one dealing with the administrative code, there was one that you sent had red line. This got taken out and this was
Yep.
changed, so they're not printed, so
Well, the other one at least is were.
you got something special.
But this one, the 09, that's the only one I was concerned about, kind of what did we take out?
You would need to just double check to make sure that there is a change there for truth, for the old one. It might have been published already.
And that jumped right into, I don't think there was any. Let's see, DHS, blah, blah, blah. Do you?
Is it the,
Usually you make these in color.
check B, the Wisconsin statutes, and B and C, do they match what we have published?
I don't know, you asked for both of these, right? I mean, that didn't.
Don't see any difference in them.
Okay.
So if anything, we can table that one till we confirm if there's something different, because O-2, we know, these are things we have talked about before, and you can see exactly what you're changing. So I'm not sure what in here has to be a part of one, if at all.
Well, I've identified some other things that we have discrepancies
Okay.
on our published code on,
Yes.
further down the road on this 200 section that needs to be either clarified whether we already changed, it was to do with burn permits. It still says that in the online version and the version in our packet,
Yep.
calls out that it's still a permitted thing for recreational burning, which we rescinded at least a year ago. So that hasn't been reflected in the new ordinances, so we need to probably review this whole thing. So if we want to defer this, I would be all for it.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything pressing to make action on this right now.
Was this present?
Matt's been asking
Defer
for
it so
the,
we can,
Get it cleaned up as a whole section, and then we won't have to worry about section 200 for a while.
yeah. It'll be clean all the way through then.
Okay.
No matter what, we have to keep these references, right? It's not like we can just say per Wisconsin state statute, blah, 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 and as they change it, because they're the ones that changed it from COM to SPS. So in
It
3
probably
years, they're
won't
gonna change it from
change. I
SPS
doubt
to XYZ.
Shouldn't, but.
Yeah, you
Never
never know.
So we have to spell it out.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
And Chad probably will have some recommendations on how to word some of the recreational burning. I think had some examples that he referred to me, so we should look through that. Or if you want to take a look at that, make some recommendations, we can bring that up.
And we can,
Does it need to go back necessarily to finance versus going to the first council in August?
Probably, so we can at least make sure it's vetted correctly.
Okay, because there's nothing,
I don't want to wordsmith at council.
okay, that's fine, that's fine.
Okay.
Month out?
So, motion to defer.
Are you asking for a motion?
You?
I am.
I'll give you the motion.
All right. Motion by Wired, second by Osley to defer both
Update on
resolutions 9 and 10. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Rolling task list, you'll see a reference to some things that I had for mainly the committee's information on AI. If you're not aware of it, the staff is working on AI policy, the department heads are. And I kind of got ahead of them a little bit, but I figured it was good information if you wanted to read what the state and one other I found was a library had an AI policy published online. Not a lot of information out there, but if you want to read that, it will be coming back before us at a future date.
I would like utility involved in that.
She wants the
Utility
utility
wants to-
involved in that.
Can the utility be involved in that as well?
in the AI or in the?
Yeah, in our department meetings, so.
Department meeting, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like some.
Should be part of the handbook.
Publish your meeting. Good, okay.
Okay. And the rolling task list didn't make it in here, but.
It wasn't there, Ken. It wasn't there.
Right before your AI minutes.
There. It's in there.
And if anybody has anything else make sure you get notification in so we can add it to the list. Or start picking those off as we can.
That's the email, that's the task list, policy for roads and sharing costs, so that's something, it's been started, so now we have to come up with some policies and start working on that. I think that probably is gonna go to DPW first, to review it, and then it'll come to finance, so
Will it hit
Doesn't stop.
committees or the
Committee.
department head's just gonna work on it?
I think we have to, Chad and I and Jeannie perhaps, will volunteer Jeannie, we'll have to find some policy, see if there's something out there. Because you didn't have anything, right, Richard? It was more of a, verbally thing.
Yeah.
So we'll
I can
look
look
into
for
it,
some.
it's gonna go to the DPW, but it'll stay on there.
Right.
Okay?
Future agenda items and announcements, I do not have any. Entertain a motion to adjourn. Second by Ware to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you.
Bye, Lon.
That was a lot to get through.
Yeah, it was.
Didn't know if we were gonna make it, but we pulled it off.
I can call him. Is anyone here for that part of the the public hearing?
Does anybody even know about it?
Okay, we can close it.
Well, but do you want to just briefly explain what it is, Jeannie?
Oh, but I can explain it
When we get down?
But no, I'll do it now. So the resolution is from 25 to 29. The Jefferson County has already approved it. They looked at it last year in 24. It's the United States Congress passed the Disaster Mitigation Act of 2000, so it requires that local units of government must have an approved all-hazard mitigation plan. So the county took the time to put the plan together. So if we want to use FEMA in the future, we need to approve their plan and say that we'll be part of their mitigation, which is, it's a very long, it's like this thick. So we don't want to redo it necessarily. We need to do this, so that's why we're doing this. It just says we're gonna be part of the county like we would normally and we were in the past. It's designed to enhance the county's ability to protect its residents, infrastructure, and economy from the effects of disasters through proactive mitigation strategies, improved risk assessments, and coordinated response efforts. And that's what we worked with when we've had other smaller disasters or issues here. It's the county emergency management, so that's what that's all about.
So, hearing nothing, I will adjourn the public hearing. Now, we will go into the regular meeting for the allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Cummings here.
Austin Cooley, Charles Cooley.
Griffin here.
Thomas here.
Where here?
Meeting minutes approval of June 19th. Any corrections, additions?
Cummings will make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from June 19th.
I do have one.
No, correct.
Did you on the, okay, so I just didn't reprint it, never mind. It was just that the annual mobile home didn't have the motion who made it, so your packet probably has it, I printed mine out. So, never mind. Motion from Cummings, do we have a second?
Thomas will second.
Motion from Cummings, second by Thomas to approve the meeting minutes of June 19th. All in favor? Here for something on the agenda? If not, you can. As
I
long
don't
as
have
it's
an
not on the
agenda, so I'll
agenda.
go ahead and speak. Rumors are flying around the community about taking down the water tower.
Okay,
Last time I was here, we had talked about our historic water tower and how
Yep.
important it was to the community. And there was money set aside to have an engineering review of it.
utilities
Okay.
did that, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and that was done, and why are we talking about taking it down? Or is that just,
So the minutes that I have from February 15th, it said structural quote in our minutes. So was that the actual quote?
He said it'd be about 150 to 200,000 tear it down.
Okay,
But there's been nothing decided, it's at the utility office right now.
Right.
It's on our agenda,
next
and
Tuesday.
there's been nothing decided at all about it. But it's not on our system and we don't use it, so the question is, do we keep paying and maintain for it? Or do we tear it down? That's,
or turn it over to the city to
Then we
maintain?
have to do the exact same
and
thing.
then they would be, so they're kind of, city's kind of considered the same as utility, we're all city.
Right.
Okay,
So if we make a decision, it'll be based on what the city wants, what the city is okay with.
okay.
But it was sent to the city, and the city sent it back to the utility, so the utility's gonna make a decision on it.
We did our due diligence on it. The insurance isn't on it, it's just a blanket policy. It used to have $1 million. So if the tower tipped over, we weren't gonna replace it, so therefore we didn't need such a high policy. And, yeah, so then the DPW was gonna do just the mowing, that little bit that was around it. So the structure documents, which were part of another email, or excuse me, another agenda that we had with all the pictures and everything of it. There's definitely some decaying, there's definitely things going on. Can it stay there for a few more years? Absolutely. But then at what point do you get the water tower? So don't get me wrong, it drives me nuts to think that, but I get it. It's also an issue of if it wasn't painted, would anybody care? And the answer I got from a lot of people is, no, I probably wouldn't, because it's just a metal tower. But it is painted, and we are used to seeing it. So he's had a couple of people come talk to them down at the utility, that's where it's at, is for them to have the conversation down there. So I encourage you to go there the first Tuesday of the month in August.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're still talking about it. So there's been a couple of people that came forth and asked some questions. My comment to Barry was, give them more than 30 days to come up with something, but that's on the commission to decide, not me.
But if we're talking about a huge amount of money to take